It is 33 degrees in downtown Wolf Point, and we have a guest in studio filling us in on what's going on in our school district, because everybody wants to know what's going on in the school district, because you poor school district folks never know what's going on right now because of the COVID just throwing a wrench into everything. I have Superintendent Loverty Erickson in studio live with us today, just kind of giving us an update, right, Loverty, on the current situation, where our semester stands or our quarter stands, and how the kids are doing and how you guys are hanging in there.
Yes, I sure am here to update the community and give a little bit of information out for more people to grab a hold of and make some plans with.
What's the most important thing right now that you guys are having to deal with?
I would say just in general, or what our big plans are moving forward?
Let's do in general.
Okay, in general, let's just say attendance.
Okay.
I would say our attendance are low, and so we would like more students in the schools and learning, both opt-out students as well as on-site students. So that's our biggest challenge right now. Yeah.
And what would you like to say to guardians and parents out there to help with that attendance? Because it's a scary time for parents and guardians and grandparents, but, kids need to be learning as well.
It is. I would say, as far as attendance goes, that our teachers do a lot of planning for our standards. And so one day is really putting kids back quite a few days in general, playing catch up. And so, one day might not seem like very much to a student per se, but it's actually quite a bit of standards that a teacher goes over in a day. So
now, you mentioned about the biggest things you're dealing with right now in looking towards the future. What would that be?
Well, as far as safety and education goes, I would say it's taking care of our community's needs and education, but also balancing keeping the kids safe as well as our staff. And so we've been doing some planning and data review and analysis, and we've came to some decisions that we feel is going to be best for our particular community.
And can you share some of those, or is it still in the process of you planning where we're going with this?
Well, I'll just be really honest, and I want the community to be very understanding that flexibility is the biggest key word that I think everybody's been using. And with that said, we had a board meeting on October 12th in which the board had approved us to go from Plan B to Plan A, which is Plan B is a hybrid situation, and Plan A is actually bringing all the kids back on site. And that doesn't mean our opt-out students.
Okay. And so when would this go into effect then?
Well, again, we're going to use the word flexibility because we want to be sure that the community knows that we are moving to Plan A, which is a 4-day week with our students who have not opted out, as long as the Roosevelt County and the Indian Health Services give us the green light to do that. And so we call them our local health officials. They help us make those decisions. But our board did approve our Plan B to A, and with the discretion of our local health officials. And so we maintain contact with them once a week, sometimes twice a week at the most. And so if our numbers in our community increase, then we will remain in our hybrid plan, which is B. And if they maintain the numbers that we've been maintaining, then we will open on Plan A. I just want the parents to know at this point we are planning on opening to Plan A on November 2nd. And
that's
so if
tentative.
anything changes, I'll be right back in the studio with you.
Now, you mentioned, Loverty, the keyword flexible, and that's probably the hardest for everybody in this situation. For you as administrators, for teachers, for students, for parents.
And it's not because we're older. It's just flexibility all around.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking literal flexibility, but being flexible with the decisions that have to be put into place. Mm-hmm. It's not easy.
It's not. And I'll give you a great example of that. At the very beginning, I would say late September, early August, we had some plans laid out for plan A, B, and C. And we even had some numbers thrown in there for how many cases it would take to close a school. And by the time we got going into the school year, about mid-October, which is about now, we had to scrap that plan because our school district would have been open one week, closed the next, open another week, and there would have been way too much inconsistency for both our parents and our students. So even though we laid these plans out, we had to become flexible in changing them with our local healthcare providers. And so that is a reason why we haven't closed down, because we've been working closely with our local health providers and making those decisions together.
It's a learning process for you guys, and you're trying to teach along with that. And yeah, it's not an easy thing. Now, Erin, you had a couple of statements and questions that you wanted to kind of to mention to Loverty.
Okay, first, Loverty, I just want to say as a parent myself, my heart goes out to everyone, the parents, kids, the school staff. Everybody's navigating through uncharted waters. So nothing's really black and white. Like you said, flexible. Mm-hmm. And it's just tough no matter what your role is in the school system, I think. And I think it's wonderful, though, how you're all working all the time. You're having meetings and getting together to figure out what could be best and what's best for everyone. But like I said, as a single parent, I can tell you right now personally, the distance learning, the opting out is just for me individually very hard. Whether you're working a job all day, sometimes two, and then you're supposed to squeeze in a full week's worth of homework and teaching, and I'm teaching multiplication right now, and I don't like that. So, but and then you also have to squeeze in your family time, reading with your kids, playing with them, watching a movie. I mean, like I said, there's so many weeks that I get home from work and we have to hit the ground running, like, get in there right now, let's do your homework. Okay, this one, and trying to cook dinner, and wait, I got to go stir the hamburger, and then we come back, and it's really hard juggling all that. And I know each child learns differently, because I know that there's also some that are thriving from distance learning, which is why I think it's great you offer both. Like there's just some that are learning better like this at home, but like my daughter, she learns better in school, interacting with the students and teachers and everything else. So, so I just think it's really good what you're doing and all the precautions you've taken. It's just a really positive thing. You're looking out for everybody.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. And in honor of our tribe and the request for closure that came on September 29th, we really did have to balance when we decided to take that step to go to Plan A again. And we kind of decided that because they had asked us to close, that we would go ahead and wait for the November 2nd date. And we did a survey for the surrounding districts, and we're kind of in line with the rest of the school districts on the reservation on how they're opening and when they're opening and things like that. We have a lot of variables as to why we're doing what we're doing. And so, your perspective of a parent who's struggling at distance learning is one of them. Mm-hmm. And so we don't take lightly our community illnesses that are happening, and just so the community understands, and I know they do, that there's many things that have been put in place to help lessen the spread of the virus. And so I think I told everybody at the board meeting we spent over $439,000 on precautions in the school system. Wow. That we've taken to lessen the effects.
And it's necessary. It seems like a lot of money, but when you're talking about protecting our futures, our kids, I mean, you can't put a price tag on that, right?
Yeah, right. And we do feel like the opt-out option is appropriate for people who cannot compromise their students' education with family health. And so that is still in effect, and that will not go away. One thing I wanted to mention about our opt-out services is that they may, if they have opted out, they may enroll at quarter for grades K through 8 and at semester on January 19th for grades 9 through 12. So there's different options that, that should help parents during this time.
Yeah, because, things are changing so quickly with our pandemic that maybe come January, the parent is going to say, I feel comfortable putting my child back into classes physically, and I want to do that. So that's great that you have that opportunity to do that as a parent or guardian. Something I have heard across the board is a lot of parents and guardians saying, what teachers do, I can't believe what they have to do with my child. They've thought, hey, I've got a good kid. They're a good child. But when they have to teach them themselves, they kind of sit back and say, okay, I appreciate my teachers a lot more right now.
Okay, well, for one, even before COVID pandemic, we've all heard quarantine, all these fun words, right, for 2020. I've always had such a respect for them, so I never wanted this to happen, even if it was a snow day. Which, by the way, did you notice that the beauty of snow days were taken away? Because now that we have all the technology, you can't just be like, oh, sorry, you can stay home today. It's no school. No, now you have no excuse, literally. And if you don't have the internet or computer, they're going to give you one.
Yep.
So, sorry.
Yeah, we do have trained professionals. They are experts in their field. And
yes,
they
definitely.
They just had a full 3 days of educator days training last week. And so they were doing their own professional development in their field of study. So,
and how are our teachers hanging in there?
They're doing good. And, I just wanted to tell them how much I love and appreciate them. Our union, Miss Patricia Taves and Arden DeWitt, did some surveys for our staff to see how they felt about going back to Plan A. And so we use that data to help us make decisions during our meeting. If you go to our school board live session that was recorded, you can see some of the data and findings that I stated of why we're doing this. And so, yeah.
And I know sports have also been affected, and I'm sure your support staff and everything, they're all up in the air as well, trying to figure out what's going on from day to day. Bus drivers, everything. So where are we in that situation with support staff, bus drivers, some of the extras that the schools offer? Yeah,
so like you said, our whole continuum of staff has been affected by this. I would say as far as our athletic goes, we've had a lot of cancellations. And actually, when I get to the sports section to report out, we have canceled Poplar's game on Friday.
Yes.
For volleyball, right? Because Tim was asking me this morning.
Football.
Is volleyball?
Mm-hmm. Volleyball's tonight at 4.
Oh.
That's still a go.
Yep.
He asked me. I was like, I have no idea.
Tim, listen in.
Yeah.
And with you mentioned that buses, that there might be some changes in the busing schedules as well, or
one thing I just kind of wanted to bring up was our bus services in general.
Okay.
We had a couple of updates on our buses. So on one of our route buses, we have new extended arms stop signs. What we were finding was people speeding past them on their highways, and so. We extended the arm a couple more feet, so they're going to hit something if they cruise on by us. We also installed video cameras that are high speed, so we can actually detect the license plate and turn it over to law enforcement now. And so we feel like that will help lessen some of the safety issues that we've been having.
Okay, that's one of my big pet peeves. If you see that stop, come out. You better stop. These are kids. Yeah. Kids have one thing on their mind, and it could be playing with their friends or eating a snack or playing with the dog or something like that. They're not really focused on traffic, so stop.
Yes, that was one of our updates. We also have cold weather bus that's going to be starting. One thing that I would ask the community and the parents to do is just make sure you're checking the kids' temperatures and systems before they get on the bus. And those will start November 2nd. We're actually going to have an in-town route. And so riders must be at the designated stops at the time of the pickups. And I will get a flyer out probably by the end of this week for everybody. We're going to remind the kids about bus conduct and sitting at assigned seats every day. Keeping the hands and feet inside the seating areas. No eating or bringing food on the bus. No garbage. We will not allow students to eat at other schools they are not enrolled at. And so if they go to Northside, they cannot eat at Southside. They have to actually go to Northside to eat breakfast. And so, we're also not allowing students to go inside and wait for buses. So if they're going to go to a school to wait for a bus, then they have to wait outside.
Makes sense.
So those are some of the changes. You know, this is a cold weather bus that we're going to be starting. If any of our drivers or monitors become ill, we're going to halt the services, and we will send out notifications or emails. So make sure that you have any of your information updated at the school at all times. That's how you're going to find out if we have to cancel bus services.
And you'll let us know as well. We'll get it on the air as soon as we can in the mornings too then.
So it'll be an in-sound service.
Perfect. Now, what are some other things that you wanted our listeners to learn a little bit more about? Anything to do with support services or?
Yes, most definitely. We know that parents at home, like myself as well, are struggling with our students, falling behind. We closed all the way down in March, and now we're at a half speed. So we have designed several different tutoring services, and so I just kind of wanted to notify the parents of those services. So for junior high school, there's actually 2 types of tutoring in progress currently, and that's regular after-school tutoring services. And then there's also available a Sullivan Learning Hub that's for math only. And so those are what we have going on right now. In addition to that, starting about October 30th, K through 12 will be offering a Title I Friday tutoring service. And that is for personalized learning sessions. So from 9 to 2, we're going to have 45-minute sessions where the teacher can work with your student one-on-one.
Oh, wow.
And because it's personalized learning, it means at the student or parent's discretion. Of course, I've asked the teachers to flag students if they find that they're having problems and things. You maybe recommend them to come in, but it's a free service and it's one-on-one tutoring. And
it might be just what that student needs to just bump them up a little bit to where they're ready for the next grade next year.
I think I need some tutoring because I had to look up what a compound sentence was the other day. Again. So, I'm like, and even the multiplication, I was like, it's really hard not to give you a calculator. It's like trying to teach you the long way. But the tutoring's great.
And it is for opt-out students as well. It's, it can be the student's choice. And so all they have to do is call the school secretary, and they'll sign them up for a time slot. And it's their responsibility to get the student there and let us know if they have to cancel.
Now, this is kind of a side question based on what Erin just said there. Are there services and help for parents on how to help guide their child if they are teaching the child from home and helping them get through the online system and, do their homework? Because, 4th grade math was a long time ago, and you might forget some of the concepts,
I'm really glad that you asked that because the administration...
Me too.
No, really. We've been discussing some of our Title I meetings that we're actually required to have with our parents. And so those were some of the conversations being thrown around. Well, maybe we can do webinars for the parents. If the parents want to, we can offer, presentations to the parents. Of course, we'd have to socially distance and make sure we were all safe if it's going to be in a building. So, those are definitely conversations that we've been having.
Great.
And if any parent wants to email me at wpsd@wolfpoint.k12.mt.us or go to the website to find that address as well, and I would be willing to take ideas and implement those into some of the Title I meetings that we're required to have.
Great. Mm-hmm. Make sure you write that down, Erin.
My eyes rolled back when I was thinking about when she was reading those letters. I'll post it underneath my Facebook post I posted today, too, about the interview. Because I put how you're going to be here, and so I'll put it on there, too.
Great. So people will have that contact information on our page. So great.
Can I mention just a few other things that we have going on in the district?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have for K through 3, we're actually looking at buying Chromebooks for our opt-out students. Currently, we don't have that available, but we're looking to have it available, I would say, by mid-November.
Wow.
And there is a $30 non-refundable fee. And if your student is a JOM student, they've offered to help pay those fees for them.
Great.
Nice.
Another thing, we have a backpack food program for grades K through 12. In the elementary, we're sending home small Ziploc bags full of food for the students to take home on their long weekends. And in the junior high school, we're actually starting a food pantry.
Oh, wow.
In which on Thursdays, any junior high or high school student has the opportunity to go in and grab some groceries and take them home for the long weekend as well. And
Wonderful, wonderful.
I really like that because I know personally some students that would really help a lot. So that makes my heart feel good that you're doing that.
Yeah, and the little ones, or even if it's a junior high, high school students, can take the food for their siblings as well. So
Perfect.
yes. Another service we're offering is we do have washers and dryers at this school, and I just really wanted to make sure that the parents know that we have coats, hats, and gloves and clothes. And all it's going to take for our students is to go and talk to a trusted adult, and we will get them their needs met. So we're here to help during this time, education, but also social, emotionally, and all around. We know that these kids are our future, and we need to take care of them.
And with the pandemic going on, parents and guardians, they may be cut back on hours, or they're having to cut back on hours because the child is home a little bit more. So it's great that we have these other options that parents can seek out help if they need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our kids can be self-sufficient if they need it. Our schools, that's what we're there for.
And a lot of the teachers that I message or see and talk to, and, they miss the kids just as much as the kids miss school. It's just, they really miss them being there. That's their job. That's their livelihood. They want to be there teaching them. They don't necessarily want to be them all doing distance learning either. They'd much rather be teaching them.
Yeah, it's got to be an interesting scenario, Loverty, to be in the school when, normally there's kids running everywhere and there's people running everywhere. And it's got to be just quiet right now.
It really is. And monitoring the schools and making sure that, that I made the right recommendation from going from Plan B back to Plan A. That's what I was seeing. 2 students in classrooms, sometimes 4. And so, I do truly believe that we can maintain safety at the same time, getting the kids who, feel like that's the choice that they want to make, the parents and the students, that's the choice they want to make to go back, was the right decision. And again, it's providing options, I think.
That's what we need right now. Yeah. What else, Loverty, would you like to mention or touch on that we haven't talked about that you're wanting to get out to the public?
Well, I like to save the fun things for last, which is our athletics program. So Cody Larson, our AD, has typed me a few notes, so I just wanted to share them with you. Let's see. Our junior high girls basketball will have their first game at Scobie on Saturday, 10/24. Volleyball is finishing off the season strong, and they have their district tournament during Halloween weekend at Malta. They also have a 4 p.m. game tonight. At the gym. If you're coming to the gym, we just ask that you wear your mask at all times, even if you're in the bleachers, and properly social distance. We don't have the great air circulation in there, and so we need everybody to maintain their masks throughout the time they're there with us. Our football game in Poplar has been canceled this Friday, and we have really great news about our cross-country team. They are going to be heading to state in Kalispell, and they are currently ranked 2nd in the state and have a chance to win it.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Congratulations, coaches and kids.
Yes. The other coaches did a great job. They are going to be having a send-off tomorrow at 8:30. They're going to go to each school and say hello to the kids. They run through the halls and they take off, and then we follow them in a line and get them safely out of town in our vehicles.
Hey, so everybody can honk their horns and wave out windows and
I just love
send
that
them
they've
off.
started to do that because it's just such a good role model and motivation for the younger kids.
Oh, yes.
It's really neat.
Yes, definitely. So we've got good news, too. I'm liking this.
Well,
actually, you have a lot of good news,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like everything she's said and all that they're doing in the school district, teachers, it's all just for the best interest and to accommodate everyone. There's, all the options she just gave and the programs, there's not really much of an excuse for each kid for it to set to their needs individually and for them to thrive, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Send prayers for me. A lot of homework tonight again.
The tribe's been amazing. The tribe helps out with HPDP services,
Oh, yes.
the nurses, the mental health, getting us supplies. IHS has given us so many supplies. So, there's a lot of people that we partner with, and the tribe is a bigger one of them. And so we just really appreciate everybody who's there to help us.
Yeah, we definitely just come together and try to join forces, I guess you could say, to get through a tough situation.
Yep.
Anything else, Loverty, that you needed to touch base on and let folks know about?
No, I just thank you. I thank you so much for this opportunity for me to come in and get some information out there. We have an app.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this.
Yes, me too now.
If you have a cell phone, you just go to the App Store and you find the Wolf Point School District.
Oh, nice.
And so you can go to any school site and you can find live feed. Our live feed posts to our Facebook pages. So if you're a Facebooker and you're on Facebook and see this, great. If you're not, make sure you download the app, because whatever we're posting on Facebook now goes to our app. And so it's a better communication system for people like me who aren't on Facebook.
Well, and I was just going to say, sometimes things get lost on Facebook too. You've got a million friends that you're keeping in touch with, and you can't find that post. So if you have the app, it's right there. You can just pull it up and you've got the information.
Yes, it's got live feeds, news, events, staff, documents, notifications. If you have this app, I can send out a push notification saying today's picture day for Northside School. And if you're only signed up for Northside School, you'll only get Northside notifications.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
We're still working out the kinks, but we're super excited about this new communication method.
Well, and that's why I love that we do, especially you at Wolf Point Schools, you reach out on the radio with interviews like this. It is on the Wolves Facebook page, now with the app. I mean, it's just, there's the newspapers, every media outlet that we have locally, you guys really get right on all of it. So everybody they can get the news, right away.
Yep.
Well, and Loverty's great about just stopping in, and we invite any superintendent, principals, coaches in any of our listening area to come in and talk if they want to. We've had Poplar Schools stop in. We've had Frontier. So anybody that would want to come in and talk about situations like this that are dealing with the schools, to give us an update on what they're doing, maybe something that's really cool that they're trying out for the first time that they want other school districts to know about, just give us a call. We'll schedule on for an appointment, and you can get on the air and talk with us. Some people get a little nervous about it, but I think I got Loverty calm enough now.
I don't know who those people are.
Aaron's petrified still, but
I even told them, I said, you guys, if I pass out, just keep going without me. It's okay.
Well, Loverty, I appreciate you coming in, and I'm glad Erin got on the air a little bit here to ask you some questions and to make some comments, because she had some thoughts, and I was just like, well, you can join us on the air and toss those thoughts around instead of me having to reiterate it. So
yeah, or you having to listen to me all day. I'm like, you know what I think, Brandi? So I actually got to say it on the air.
Exactly. Well, anything else, Loverty, that you'd like to pass along to our listeners?
No, that's it. Just thank you. And if you guys have any questions, again, I'm always available, or find the website.
And the app. Don't forget the app.
You do that. Download the app.